So, but this is an article that I haven't read, which is apparently not a surprise anymore on today's Not So Critical update.
But you know what it's about. And
It's
what
things
stood
are going
out
to cost
to
a lot
me,
more money in the future.
Cyber attacks reported to cost the world $10 trillion annually by 2025. Really, the only reason I put this on the list is because they make the claim that if cyber attacks were their own economy, they would be the third largest economy on the planet. If did I say that right? If cybercrime was a country, it would be the third largest economy in the world. And I think that's just crazy. Like, doesn't that seem super high to you, or does that sound about right?
I don't know. I wonder if you combine all the various mafias and organized crime, what is their per capita? Like, or like, what's their value? What's their market cap? I think when you use things like that, it's good for shock value. It's not. This isn't like.
It's like if you put together the I don't know the total revenue generated by the banana industry worldwide, it would be the
exactly like what size country, literally
economy in the world.
So I'm totally off base. This isn't interesting.
You take together 200
it's
countries.
It's extremely interesting.
I
just think that their take.
Wait, what?
Their take is a bit wonky.
What just happened?
I don't like the third largest country thing.
Right.
I do like and want to talk about this Unikernel. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. So Peter, you haven't read the article.
This company says its Unikernel-based technology is a possible solution. Well, of course they would. Every security company is saying that
it's best selling point ever. Now, the reason they say that it is because their kernel runs their Nano OS or whatever it's called. It runs one process at a time.
That sounds super efficient.
Well, let's say that they figured out the efficiency issue. What if I hammer the process, right? What if I halt the process in the form of a denial of service, denial of process attack is what we'll call it. Will it just not continue? Will it drop the process, pick up a new one? I feel like the attack here is going to be, we're just going to figure out new ways to attack this OS.
Of course. It's the same as RISC versus CISC. It's like all that's going to happen is you'll end up
what's RISC and what's CISC?
Okay. Well, thank you for asking there, John. I actually do think my dad is familiar with this, but cool. CISC is the complete instruction set, and RISC is the reduced instruction set, and it applies to CPUs. And basically, they were CPUs which are optimized for doing very simple mathematical operations like plus and minus very, very quickly. That's RISC. But all the other ones were just like multiplication was a series of additions. And CISC was you had a native operation for doing multiplications or division. So it was just one op. So if you had a simple application, RISC was better because it could just do the really quick things really quickly, much more faster than the complete instruction sets ones could. Anyway, this is similar because it's only running one process at the time. And traditional operating systems run multi-process or multi-threaded, and they're just simulating running lots of different things at the same time. But whatever, that's a kind of distinction. So all I'm saying is that all the stuff that works for multi-threaded OSs is going to have to be re-implemented on top in a different way for the single process thing.
And John says that we'll just pretty quickly find a way around that. So let's expand the conversation. We talked about doing this article also. We'll just loop it into this segment since we're already kind of here.
Thank you for, diplomatically cutting me off there, playing me out.
Oh, I thought you were done. I'm sorry. Did you have more, Peter?
No, it's good.
I'll give it to you the solo.
No, not at all. No, I don't want the solo. Take it away. I can't see myself like this. Like, no, I just mean I just mean that.
That's good stuff. Going back to the basics. The basics. Bring us back around, Mike. Where were we?
All right. Sorry, Peter. I didn't mean to cut you off. But so we have this proposed solution. obviously we're going to find a way around that. Like, we've got, I mean, huge problems, right? Systems are being compromised left and right. A benefit of the current computer architecture is that it's very flexible. A drawback is that it's very vulnerable. These are systems that we're using to protect critical infrastructure, highly secured environments, day-to-day business and industry that are based on technology that was developed 30 years ago without taking any of these things into account. We've tried to retrofit it. We've tried to bolt things on. We've tried to secure it. It's a disaster. Is there a path forward?
Because yes. Sorry, go on. Yeah, you go,
John. I just wanted to add something kind of fun. So there's a show, it's ended. It's called Silicon Valley, and it is about a startup company in Silicon Valley. And towards the end of the season, spoiler alert, towards the end of the last season, or I think it's the last season, right around there, one of the characters allows the AI to improve the code base. And the AI decides that the best way to solve all of these bugs is to delete entire modules and sections of the code. And this is exactly what we're looking at. We cannot keep growing vertically the way we are with our code, because as we add more functionality and more,
and yet we're going to,
and we are, as we do this, all it does is just widen and widen and widen the security or attack surface, because you would have to redesign the lowest level of operations on a CPU from the ground up to maybe attempt to solve it. But that is not enough. We are humans. We are inherently flawed, and we will always forget something or overlook something. And there is no solution. The solution is to turn the web off. The solution is to turn computers off. That's the solution.
One day,
in my opinion.
Except after this episode's over. Don't turn
right
your
after you
now.
Hit like and subscribe.
Like the video, then turn your computer off. Peter, what were you gonna
add? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Peter.
Nothing much. I don't know. Articles like this just make me kind of angry, really.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of puff pieces, and it's just like, oh well, is this silver bullet which we're trying to sell gonna solve everything? No. It's a complicated problem, and the solution is going to be complicated, and that's,
So I actually didn't read that article. Can I predict something? Can I guess? Did they mention machine learning at any point in that article?
In the back to basics?
Bingo.
Who cares about that article?
Oh, okay.
But like the idea of back to basics, like, is that the right approach?
We should have basic principles. We should have fundamental things that you can, building blocks of how to just operate that can be built on. Like, don't trust things, and
yes,
by default.
Literally, I was thinking that. Yeah,
yeah. Make backups and double verify. It's all about build around trust, I suppose. But having a Unikernel operating system that only runs one process at a time. No.
Peter, let's highlight what you just said. This is super important. We, as humans, we are the biggest vulnerability.
Yeah.
And with convenience, we've introduced more vulnerabilities. Passwords, for example, is just one. We reuse passwords. We use shitty passwords. And we are easily tricked. But that could be solved. When we introduce technology, obviously, when people, most people didn't think that it was going to be the paradigm shift that it became. And what I'm getting to is that we didn't train humans. We, us three right here, and people watching most likely, they became computer literate. They became technologically literate. They learned how to research to learn. And they learned how to learn, really, is the way to better phrase it. And my parents did not. My sister did not. My friends, some of them, did not. So when they go and they see a link to reset a password in their email, they're going to click it.
Which is totally fine, by the way, I should say. sometimes people talk about this stuff as though they're dummies or idiots or they're like bad people. But
that's not their fault.
Normal and natural not to give a shit about like how security works. You shouldn't have to. It's horrible. I'm not saying you're doing that, John.
No.
Very nice.
We didn't train our fellow humans when we gave them the tools. It's like getting a tool that is otherworldly without an instruction set. Now, a lot of people are going to get this new IKEA furniture and they're going to say, fuck the instructions. I'm going to build it how I want. Then they sit in the chair they just built and the chair just breaks because they didn't read the instructions. This is the same exact thing. And that's my biggest issue here is we didn't do anything as humans to help our fellow humans. We just said, here's a fucking smartphone. Enjoy it. Also, good luck with your social security number.
So I have a question for Mike, actually. Okay. Mike, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If my machine got hacked, right?
Your machine? It was just your machine got hacked?
Yeah, my machine got hacked.
Okay.
And it was used for like sending spam or it was used for mining cryptocurrency without my knowledge or whatever. Would it really matter? What's the difference? Would it be okay? If I could still browse the web and do what I wanted.
Would it matter if your machine was hacked?
Yeah. Like it was just kind of.
I mean, it would matter to you, sure. It would matter. Yeah.
No, but I'm with Peter. Would it matter?
And
because you were saying like about the privacy stuff, like, well, you know, people get this stuff in return for giving up their privacy.
Yeah.
So does it really matter that their privacy is being hugely violated? So if my machine is being used for something I have not chosen it to be used for, does that matter? I don't care. I can still browse the web. I can still call my.
Still play WoW.
Yeah, I think it matters.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want my machine hacked like that.
Why not? Doesn't make a difference to you.
Well, that's not.
They're only invading your privacy.
So
think about
to some extent, well, so to some extent, you want a thoughtful answer, don't you?
The turntables.
I do use my computer to go out onto the internet, and if that information that I'm sending out of the house is compromised, then I kind of expect that to some point.
No, it's not. I don't
expect
your information isn't compromised. Your information isn't compromised. A subsection of your PC's resources are being used. Again, like Peter said, this could be being used as a spam box. This could be being used as a crypto jacker, so it's running an extra 10% of the CPU.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Okay.
You don't mind that?
No.
You don't want it or you don't mind it?
Oh, no, I would mind it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Interesting. We'll dig into that.
I don't. But what's the inconsistency there?
Your privacy has been breached. But
you said it wasn't a privacy issue. You said it was a resource issue.
Of course it is. But it is. But it is a privacy issue.
The same
in the sense of your personal space or device. In this sense, has been breached and is being used without your consent. Your data has been breached and used without your consent. You've said at one point that doesn't matter.
Difference.
No, I think I think that's totally different. Now, if somebody gets onto my computer and steals my information, I'll be upset about that. If somebody breaches a database that contains my information on the internet, maybe I'll be upset about that too. But everybody's information's already out there. And I talked last time about this this thing with who's the trading company that I mentioned that I use?
Robinhood?
No. I don't know. Anyway, the company that we use for our investments had a problem. It was related to some stupid tax thing that I don't understand, whatever. But it looked like our account had been affected. And I thought, I kind of posted tongue in cheek in Discord that oh my God, here's a story that I care about because it might affect me. But so in a way that's true. And here's the distinction. So if that site had been compromised and my money was affected, I would have been pissed. If that site was compromised and my information was impacted, I just don't care as much. And I think that's true for most people.
Okay, this is interesting, but I think we're probably at time for this segment. Again,
so I think that's true for the computer too. Like if somebody gets on my computer, they're like taking resources from me. I have a problem with that. But it's like that's affecting my money.
You don't consider your privacy as a resource.
I'm not convinced that like digital information online privacy is the same as privacy in the traditional physical sense.
But that could be argued against with something like a VDI or a virtual desktop, right? It's not hosted in your home. It's not your personal space or what you own, but it is still your personal data as if it was a personal computer. It's just hosted on a cloud somewhere.
Peter doesn't buy that.
I think that we really could.
All right.
If anybody is actually still watching this, I think they may be about to. We might be about to lose some subscribers.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
It'll come up again.
Yeah, it will. It fucking will.